Hello.
Is this Proverbs 21? Did I reach the 21st?
Wait, slow down. Who's this?
I know things. I'm you from the future.
Wait, what?
No, just tell him to like it.
How?
Just tell him to like it. Okay, listen very carefully right now. I need you to tell him to like, comment, and subscribe. Like, comment, and subscribe right now. Just tell him to like it and comment and subscribe. Okay, just do it.
Hello? 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 Alright, welcome back. Let's get started on Proverbs 21. The king's heart is in the hand of the Lord. Like the rivers of water, he turns it wherever he wishes. Every way of a man is right in his own eyes, but the Lord weighs the hearts. To do righteousness and justice is more acceptable to the Lord than sacrifice. A haughty look, a proud heart, and the plowing of the wicked are sin. The plans of the diligent lead surely to plenty, but those of everyone who is hasty surely to poverty. Getting treasures by a lying tongue is the fleeting fantasy of those who seek death. The violence of the wicked will destroy them, because they refuse to do justice. The way of a guilty man is perverse, but as for the pure, his work is right. Better to dwell in a corner of a housetop than in a house shared with a contentious woman. The soul of the wicked desires evil. His neighbor finds no favor in his eyes. When the scoffer is punished, the simple is made wise. But when the wise is instructed, he receives knowledge. The righteous God wisely considers the house of the wicked, overthrowing the wicked for their wickedness. Whoever shuts his ears to the cry of the poor will also cry himself and not be heard. A gift in secret pacifies anger, and a bribe behind the back strong wrath. It is a joy for the just to do justice, but destruction will come from the workers of iniquity. A man who wanders from the way of understanding will rest in the assembly of the dead. He who loves pleasure will be a poor man. He who loves wine and oil will not be rich. The wicked shall be a ransom for the righteous, and the unfaithful for the upright. Better to dwell in the wilderness than with a contentious and angry woman. There is a desirable treasure and oil in the dwelling of the wise, but a foolish man squanders it. He who follows righteousness and mercy finds life, righteousness, and honor. A wise man scales the city of the mighty and brings down the trusted stronghold. Whoever guards his mouth and tongue keeps his soul from troubles. A proud and haughty man, scoffer is his name. He acts with arrogant pride. The desire of the lazy man kills him, for his hands refuse to labor. He covets greedily all day long, but the righteous gives and does not spare. The sacrifice of the wicked is an abomination. How much more when he brings it with wicked intent? A false witness shall perish, but the man who hears him will speak endlessly. A wicked man hardens his face, but as for the upright, he establishes his way. There is no wisdom or understanding or counsel against the Lord. The horse is prepared for the day of battle, but deliverance is of the Lord. Proverbs 21. This is a great one. I really love how it starts off in verse 1 and 2, really showing that the Lord is in control. The king's heart is in the hand of the Lord, like the rivers of water. He turns it wherever he wishes. And then the second verse, every way of a man is right in his own eyes, but the Lord weighs the hearts. That just goes to show how a king, the most powerful man in his whole empire, in his whole kingdom, can just be directed by a mere finger push of the Lord. And then secondly, in verse 2, how every man, maybe just not even as powerful as a king, but every man, we look at ourselves and we think we're doing what's right, but then the Lord is what weighs our hearts. Another common theme in this chapter, and really as of Proverbs as a whole, verse 5 really sums it up. The plans of the diligent lead surely to plenty, but those of everyone who is hasty surely to poverty. You know, it's those get-rich-quick schemes, it's those who desire to be rich, it's those who don't want to put in the work. Like it says, everyone who is hasty surely to poverty. It's the diligent who lead to plenty. And there's also verse 6, getting treasures by a lying tongue is a fleeting fantasy of those who speak death. So that's, following along in the same lines. If you're getting treasures by a lying tongue, That's not a good way to get them, and it's not going to reward you in the end. This same theme pops right back up here in verse 20, where there is desirable treasure and oil in the dwelling of the wise, but a foolish man squanders it. And then we fast forward down to 25, the desire of the lazy man kills him, for his hands refuse to labor. And then verse 26, he covets greedily all day long, but the righteous gives and does not spare. So these are all sort of following along the same lines of we must be diligent in order to get rich. We must be diligent in order to be rewarded. If we want to get rich, if we want to take the shortcuts, it's not going to profit us in the end. But of course, as verse 1 started us right off, the Lord does whatever he wishes. But let's look at verse 26 specifically. He covets greedily all day long, but the righteous gives and does not spare. It's so important to be generous. The righteous gives and does not spare. What's really interesting in going through these chapters and breaking them down like this is seeing how many themes there are in each chapter. For example, we begin chapter 21 of how a king may want to do whatever he wants, but it's only the Lord who turns his way like rivers. And of course, verse 31 bookends that. The horse is prepared for the day of battle, but deliverance is of the Lord. So at the end of the day, we can work, we can be diligent, but it's completely up to the Lord if our diligence will pay off. However, clearly, it's not going to pay off if we're lazy, if we are getting ill-gotten gain, if we are getting treasures by a lying tongue, if we are guilty, any of those sorts of things, or he who covets, that will come surely to poverty. So I hope you've enjoyed today's chapter 21, and don't forget to join me again for chapter 22 tomorrow. Who are you?
When this phone rings, you need to answer it. Do you understand?
Okay.